Cambridge IGCSE Biology 061022 October-November 2021. Question number 1. All living things can remove toxic materials and other substances that are in excess of requirements. What is this process called? The answer will be excretion. Removal of substances is called excretion. Question number 2. Two animals have identical sequence of amino acid in one of the proteins found in their cells. What does this indicate about these animals? Option A, they have been eating the same types of food. Option B, they have not been exposed to substances that cause mutation. Option C, they must be members of the same genus. The answer would be option D, they share an ancestor. Question number 3. The diagram shows some tissues in part of a plant root. The arrow represents the movement of water into and across the plant root tissues. How many different tissues are shown? So we can count the number of the types of tissues. This would be one type of tissue, this would be another, and this one, and also this one. The answer would be B, 4 types of tissues. Question number 4. The length of a mitochondrion in a photomicrograph is 15 mm. The actual length of the mitochondrion is 3. What is the magnification of the photomicrograph? So first we would convert 3 into mm. 3 divide 1000, 0.003, and we would divide 15 by 0.003. The answer would be 5000. Question number 5. The diagram shows some cells. Where are these cells found? Option A, alimentary canal. Option B, blood. Option C, bronchus. Option D, plant roots. So the answer would be bronchus, as cilia is found in bronchus. Question number 6. Which statement about diffusion is correct? Option B, the process requires energy from respiration, which would be wrong. Option B, the particles must cross a membrane, which is also wrong, as diffusion does not require a membrane. Option C, the net movement of particles is up a concentration gradient, which is also wrong. And option D, the process involves the random movement of particles. Option D would be the answer. Question number 7. The diagram shows the uptake of mineral ions by root hair cells. Which type of molecule is labeled in the diagram? Labeled X in the diagram. So this is the membrane, and this is the mineral ion passing. This would be the protein channel. So the answer would be option C, protein. Question number 8. The bases on one of the strands of a DNA molecule have the sequence shown. AATCTG. What is the corresponding sequence of the base on the other strand? So the corresponding would be A to T, and T to A, C to G, T to A again, and G to C. So the correct answer would be option D, TTAGAC. Question number 9. In a photosynthesis experiment, a plant is left in bright sunlight for several hours. A leaf is then removed from the plant and tested for starch using iodine solution. The diagram shows the leaf from the plant that was used in the experiment. Which diagram shows the result of the experiment? So if the starch is present, the iodine solution would turn blue-black. In this case, the starch was being used from this area. So the answer for this would be option C, as the starch is getting used up from the middle of the leaf. Question number 10. An experiment was carried out to investigate the effect of pH on enzyme action. The graph shows the results. What are the labels for the x-axis and the y-axis? The labels would be rate of reaction times the pH, where the rate of reaction would be y-axis and the pH would be at x-axis. So the answer would be option A. Question number 11. Four test tubes were set up as shown in the diagram. In which test tube is the starch digested most quickly? So we can see option A has starch solution and amylase. Option B has starch solution and boiled amylase. So if the enzyme is boiled, it would get denatured. Option C has starch solution and amylase. Option D has starch solution and boiled amylase. So option B and D would be eliminated as the enzymes were boiled and they were denatured. The rest would be option A and C. The enzyme amylase would work optimally at 35 degrees Celsius. So the answer would be option C. Question number 12. Two similar leaves are set up in test tubes as shown. One is exposed to light while the other is kept in dark. After a few hours, which color would the hydrogen carbonate indicator solution be in each test tube? So if CO2 is used up, the color would change to purple, and if CO2 is not getting used up, it would the color would change to yellow. So the answer would be option B. Question number 13. The diagram shows the surface view of part of the epidermis of a leaf. How many guard cells are present? We can count the guard cells: 2, 4, and 6. So the answer would be option C, 6 guard cells. Question number 14. The diagram shows part of the alimentary canal and associated organs. Where does most of the water absorption take place? So most of the water absorption takes place in the small intestine. Identify the small intestine with the blue color, which would be this one. So the answer would be option B. Question number 15. The diagram shows large food molecule changing into smaller molecules. What is process X called? Breaking of larger molecules into smaller ones is called digestion. So the answer would be option C, digestion. Question number 16. The diagram shows a newly planted seedling and the same seedling a few hours after being planted. What is the correct explanation for the change in appearance of the leaves? So we can see the leaves are not as strong as when they were planted. We will read out the options now. Option A, transpiration is faster than water uptake by root hairs, so the cells have become flaccid. Transpiration is faster than water uptake by root hairs, so cells have become turgid. Transpiration is slower than water uptake by root hairs, so cells have become flaccid. Transpiration is slower than water uptake by root hairs, so cells have become turgid. So the answer would be option A, as transpiration is more than the water uptake. Question number 17. Translocation is the movement of sucrose and amino acids in the phloem tissue of a plant from source to sink. Which organ can act as a source? Storage roots can act as a source. The answer would be option D, storage root. Question number 18. Which compound of blood produces antibodies? Lymphocytes produce antibodies, so the answer would be option A. Question number 19. What do shunt vessels connect? Shunt vessels connect arteries and veins. So the answer would be option B, arterioles and venules. Question number 20. Which graph shows how the pressure inside the lungs changes when taking one breath in? The answer would be option B, as when you take one breath in, the pressure decreases. Question number 21. Some features that help to defend the body against pathogens are listed. 1. Mucus. 2. Skin. 3. Stomach acid. 4. Phagocytosis. Which features can prevent pathogens entering the body tissues? So the answer would be 1, 2 and 3, as mucus, skin and stomach acid helps in protection from pathogens. So the answer would be option B. Question number 22. The diagram shows the apparatus used to measure the rate of respiration in germinating seeds. As the seeds respire, the bubble of colored water moves along the glass tube. The temperature is increased from 20 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. What happens to the movement of the bubble as the temperature increases? So, as the germinating seeds start to respire at a higher rate, more CO2 would be used. So, soda lime would absorb more CO2. So, the answer would be option A. The bubble moves quickly towards the seeds at 40 degrees than at 20 degrees Celsius. Question number 23. Which statement about lactic acid is correct? Lactic acid is a product of anaerobic respiration in yeast. So this option is wrong. Lactic acid build up in tissues can lead to an oxygen death. So this one's correct. Lactic acid is produced from sucrose during anaerobic respiration. This is also wrong. Lactic acid is transported from the liver to the muscles after exercise. This is also wrong. So the answer would be option B. Question number 24. The diagram shows a mammalian kidney. What are areas X, Y, and Z? The area X is the cortex and the area Z is the medulla. The area Y is the ureter. So the answer would be option B, as X is the cortex, Y is the ureter, and Z is the medulla. Question number 25. The structures listed are part of the nervous system: brain, effector, receptor, relay neuron. In a reflex arc, which structures are connected to a motor neuron by synapse? The answer would be C, as effector and relay neuron are connected to the motor neuron by the synapse. Question number 26. Which process is a response of the body that is part of a negative feedback process? The answer would be option C, as synthesis of glycogen in response to increase in blood glucose concentration is a negative feedback process. Question number 26. Which process is a response of the body that is part of a negative feedback process? Option A, release of insulin in response to low blood glucose concentration. Option B, vasoconstriction in response to an increase in blood temperature. Option C, synthesis of glycogen in response to increase in blood glucose concentration. Option D, sweating in response to a decrease in blood temperature. So the answer would be option C, as it is a negative feedback process. Question number 27. Which row shows the pupil reflex in bright sunlight? So the size would get smaller and the radial would relax, and the circular muscle in the iris would contract. So the answer would be option B. Question number 28. A seed is placed and grown on a rotating disc as shown. Which diagram shows the appearance of the seedling shoot after 7 days? So the seed is shown over here and the disc is constantly rotating. The answer would be option A, as it would still grow straight. Question number 29. Commercial plant growers use asexual reproduction to grow coffee plants which produce crops of coffee beans. What is a disadvantage of asexual reproduction? Option A. The coffee beans produced by all of the plants are identical. Option B. Two parent two parent plants are needed. Option C. One parent is needed. Option D. All plants are equally susceptible to the same disease. So the answer would be option D. Question number 30. Which statement about the human immunodeficiency virus HIV is correct? Option A, antibodies cannot be made. Option B, HIV infections can be treated with antibiotics. Option C, HIV destroys lymphocytes. Option D, HIV is spread by coughing and sneezing. The correct answer would be option C, as HIV destroys lymphocytes. Question number 31. Which statement about diploid human cell is correct? Option A. There are 22 chromosomes and an X or Y chromosome. So this one's a wrong option. Option B. There are 22 pairs of chromosomes and 2 sex chromosomes. So this one looks correct. Option C. There are 23 chromosomes. This one's also wrong. Option D. There are 23 pairs of chromosomes and 2 sex chromosomes. One's also a wrong option. So the correct answer would be option B. Question number 32. The gene of hemophilia is found on the X chromosome and the allele for hemophilia is recessive. In the pedigree diagram, the dominant allele is shown as XH and the recessive allele is shown as X small h. What is the probability of a child M having hemophilia? So this is the child M and both the parents have the hemophilia allele which is X capital H, so it would be 50%. The answer would be option C. Question number 33. What is an adaptive feature of xerophytes? So xerophytes are plants that are found usually in deserts. Option A says they do not have root hair cells, so this is wrong. Option B, their leaves have a large surface area, this is also wrong. Option C, they have many stomata, this is also wrong. Option D, their leaves have thick cuticles. Option D is correct. Question number 34. The graph shows the growth of a bacterial population. Which section represents the exponential log phase? So exponential log phase is the period where the cells are doubling. The answer would be option B. Question number 35. A species of insect usually has pale colored wings. This helps to camouflage them on a pale colored tree trunks. A few of the insects in this species have darker colored wings. After a number of years, the tree trunks become darker in color due to the environmental changes. The insects with the darker colored wings become more common than the insects with pale colored wings in the species. In this species, which process is caused this change? Which process causes this change in the proportion of the insects with dark colored wings? Option A, biotechnology. Option B, conservation. Option C, natural selection. Option D, selective breeding. The correct answer would be natural selection. Option C. Question number 36. The diagram shows part of the nitrogen cycle. Which processes are carried out by bacteria? So, process number 1, 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, then 6 and 7 is carried out by bacteria. So, the correct answer would be option D, 1, 2, 6 and 7. Question number 37. What is a characteristic of bacteria that makes them useful in genetic engineering? Option A. The genetic code of bacteria is different to plants and animals. Option A is wrong. Option B. Their nucleus contains DNA. Option B is also wrong. Option C. Plasmids can be transferred between cells. Option C is correct. Option D. They have large number of mitochondria. Option D is also wrong. So the answer would be option C. Question number 38. What is the useful product of anaerobic respiration in the manufacture of bread? Option A, carbon dioxide. Option B, ethanol. Option C, lactic acid. Option D, oxygen. The answer would be option A, carbon dioxide, as it gives rise to the bread. Question number 39. What are reasons why species become endangered? Option A, habitat destruction, hunting, and introduced species. Option B, habitat protection, introduced species, and monitoring. Option C, habitat destruction, hunting and captive breeding programs. Option D, hunting, pollution and seed banks. So the correct answer would be option A. Question number 40. If the nitrate concentration in a lake increases, fish may die due to the events listed. Increased aerobic respiration by decomposers, increased decomposition of dead producers, increased growth of producers, reduction in dissolved oxygen. So we can order them. First one would be increased growth of producers. The second one would be increased decomposition of dead producers. The third one would be increased aerobic respiration by decomposers. The fourth one would be reduction in dissolved oxygen. So the correct option would be option C, 3, 2, 1 and 4. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe the video.